Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to dive into a pretty fascinating topic that has intrigued people for centuries: Leviathan. You might have heard the term thrown around in different contexts, but what does it really mean? From ancient mythology to political philosophy, the concept of Leviathan touches on many aspects of our world. Stick around as we explore its history, significance, and the way it pops up in today's culture. Let's start with a bit of background. The term Leviathan actually comes from ancient texts, and it's mentioned in the Bible, specifically in the book of Job. This giant sea creature was often seen as a fearsome and chaotic being, definitely not something you'd want to meet on a dark night. Over time, the idea evolved, particularly thanks to Thomas Hobbes. In his 1651 work titled Leviathan, Hobbes used the creature as a powerful metaphor for the state. He described a strong government as a leviathan that rises from the need for order amidst chaos, which was pretty revolutionary at the time. This book has played a big role in shaping political theory and discussions about authority ever since. Now, let's get into the mythological significance of Leviathan. In various cultures, Leviathan represents chaos and immense power. The creature has parallels in myths around the world, like Behemoth, which is often seen as its counterpart. Think of it as a cosmic balance. While Leviathan represents the waters and chaos, Behemoth embodies the land and order. In ancient Mesopotamian mythology, we see similar water monsters that symbolize primordial chaos. It's fascinating to think about how different cultures have their own versions of this idea, showing just how relatable the threat of chaos is to humanity. Fast forward to today, and we still see Leviathan's influence in modern storytelling, be it in comics, movies, or even songs. All right, let's talk a little philosophy. Hobbes's Leviathan goes beyond just being an epic creature. It's essentially about the social contract, how we as people agree to follow a government in exchange for protection and order. Hobbes argued that without this agreement, life would be solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. Yikes, right? However, not everyone agreed with Hobbes. Thinkers like John Locke and Jean-Jacques Rousseau had their own takes, believing that citizens should have more freedoms and that governments needed to serve the people's will. This ongoing debate about the balance of power and individual rights is one we still see in our political discussions today. It's kind of eye-opening to realize just how relevant these old ideas remain, often framed as tensions between freedom and authority. Let's shift gears and talk about how Leviathan has made its way into popular culture. Whether it's literature, movies, or even video games, this giant sea monster pops up everywhere. For instance, you might recall scenes from films where massive creatures disrupt human lives, illustrating our fear of chaos and the unknown. In literature, titles like Moby Dick touch on similar themes of man versus nature. Plus, in video games, there are often enormous monsters that players must confront, reminding us of that classic story of struggle against a form of chaos. Even in art and music, we see interpretive pieces that evoke the power and mystery of Leviathan, showcasing its influence through the ages. So to wrap it all up, Leviathan is more than just a myth. It represents deep themes of chaos, power, and authority that have resonated through history and continue to impact our lives today. Whether you're reading Hobbes or watching the latest blockbuster, the essence of Leviathan is ever present. I hope this episode gave you some cool insights into the significance of Leviathan. Now, why not dive into this topic further? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think Leviathan is more of a monster or a metaphor for our governments? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If you enjoyed this chat, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more interesting content. Next week, we'll explore another intriguing subject, so stay tuned. Until then, keep questioning and stay curious.